All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Doyle Hall for today's formal announcement of our new women's hockey head coach. My name is Derek Dunning, Director of Athletic Communications here at Norwich University. To kick off today's press conference, I'd like to welcome up to the podium Norwich University Director of Athletics, Tony Mariano.
Thanks, Derek, and good afternoon. Welcome to Norwich. On behalf of Norwich University and its athletic department, it gives me great pleasure to announce that Sophie LeClair, former All-American women's hockey standout for Norwich, will become the second women's hockey coach in university history. President Richard Snyder unfortunately could not be with us today, but he wanted me to express his sincere congratulations to Sophie on her appointment as our new head women's hockey coach. Sophie had an outstanding playing career here at Norwich, capped by guiding Norwich to its first national championship with a 5-2 victory over the Rochester Institute of Technology in 2011. She still ranks as the program's all-time leader in assists and ranks second in nearly every other offensive category. She was named the NEHC Player of the Year, New England Division III Player of the Year, American Hockey Coaches Association First Team All-American, and runner-up for the Laura Hurd Award. After graduating from Norwich, she spent 1 year as head coach at Kimball Union Academy before returning to her alma mater to serve 2 years as an assistant coach under Mark Bolding. She returns to Norwich after completing her 4th season at Colgate University, where Sophie helped the Raiders reach the NCAA Division I National Championship game in Colgate's best record in program history. I'm excited for the future of Norwich women's hockey under Sophie's direction, and I look forward to many successful years ahead for women's hockey at Norwich. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Sophie LeClair.
Well, that's great. Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you. I know he can't be here, as Tony said, but thank you to President Schneider, Vice President Banachek, and of course Tony and the entire search committee. You know, everybody that I've met through this process has just been absolutely amazing. And I just couldn't be more just honored, grateful, excited, and happy for this just unbelievable opportunity. You know, it's funny, I was recently, actually just almost a year ago today, I was watching Cam up here, crushed his press conference, and I was like, wow, this is, you know, I wonder what that would be like. You know, I'm watching Cam try and say, you know, his whys, like of why he chose Norwich and to kind of take this next step in his chapter. And then how cool that would be to be able to stand up here and share that with everybody. And here we are. We're really doing it. And then when you go through this whole process, there's so much reflection that happens, right? You're like, wow, how did I end up here, and why am I here? And that's what is just a really kind of, it's a cool reflection process, and it got me to the point of like, wow, what an amazing journey this has really been. It's funny, I actually have like a map here of everything that I've thought of, and I was actually sitting with my brother who was here today, and we're just talking about, you know, how you got here, and Tony hit on it a little bit, but it's absolutely incredible. For me, being here is home, and it started, I was actually on a run recently, and I was like, holy cow, I was a freshman in high school at Spalding, about 15 minutes from here, and it was the first time I stepped into this rink. Won a state championship with our division, I don't know what we were at that time, Spalding, and I just remember thinking, holy cow, like this is a really cool rink. And that was the start of it. Like, that's where Norwich kind of started, and it was just a really cool rink. After that, the journey kind of continues. We kind of go on this really cool road trip, and next thing you know, I end up here again as a player. And it wasn't just a really cool rink at that point. I mean, it was still, but it also was more than that. That's where I first meet Molly, and we were stall buddies, and start building that relationship. And that's where I can start my thank yous. It's thank you to Mark and Keith for recruiting me, for Molly to wanting to sit next to me, or I don't know if it was assigned, or I don't really know how that works. And obviously for my parents and family being like, okay, go Sophie, and it was just, they've always been there. And then after that, there's just a fork in the road, and it's, holy cow, like, I have an opportunity to come back here, and there it is, it's Norwich again. And this time I can thank Mark Bolding and Tony, and again, my family for supporting me and being like, yeah, Sophie, coaching is for you, and to go for it. And it was just an absolutely incredible opportunity that Mark gave me, and one that truly fueled my passion for this game. A couple of players are here, and you guys know that from him, and the mark he's left from here. He left this program in a better place than it began, and that's what I intend to do here. I was fortunate enough to have another really tough fork in the road, and to go work for somebody who is a mentor, a friend, and somebody who I'll never forget and has shaped who I am as a coach, and that's Greg Fargo. And I am absolutely who I am today, as a person and as a coach, because of him, and Steph and DeCoste, our assistants there, and the whole staff at Colgate. It's just been absolutely incredible. But then, as the journey continues, the car goes forward, and then another big fork in the road, and it was like, holy cow, and here it is again. And once again, it's not just a nice rink. It's not just the amazing, people you get to work with, and somebody like Molly, but it's everything else that Norwich has that no one else knows unless you're here. And there's people in the room that know that, and I feel that, and it's this pull, it's this constant pull that's always brought me back, and I just couldn't be happier to have this opportunity to share what I've learned through the ups, the downs, the uncomfortable situations that has allowed me to grow. And now I just have the opportunity to share it with this family here at Norwich. And I couldn't be more excited. So again, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you to everybody who has supported me throughout. A lot of them are in this room. And some of them, are just on the outside looking in. And it's been absolutely amazing so far, and I can't wait for the next step. So thank you so much.
We'll now open it up to questions from the media members here. If you just will state your name and where you're from, and then direct it at Coach Mariano or Sophie. Jack. Or Mike, sorry.
Sophie, Mike Kuhn, WCX. Congratulations, welcome back.
Thank you.
Someone who grew up here said, play here with the player. You know what this hockey program, these hockey programs mean to this community. What does it mean for you now to kind of have the stewardship now to take that to the next level after everything that Mark said building it up to this point?
Yeah, it's almost, it really is kind of a dream come true. Again, it's more than just a school for me. So to have lived through, again, like the ups, the downs, it's the uniqueness of the area and everything, to just have to live through those experiences and kind of created different milestones that all revolve around this place. it just couldn't set the stage for a more exciting future. Having been able to step away from it, you do come back and you realize how special this place really is. And to be able to just, I don't know what'll happen, but to have the opportunity to share it and to even come close to creating the experience that I had when I was here is something I'm going to work every day to do for them.
Tony, just to follow up, as the search process went along, if you single it down to one thing, what was it about Sophie that she built up the experience both here and at Colgate, obviously, but what was it about Sophie, if you know, put it in one thing that made it clear to you and everyone in the search community that she was the right choice?
I think the biggest thing that I saw in Sophie was the excitement that she had about coming back to Norwich and getting the opportunity to coach at her alma mater. And to be able to do that is a special thing, and not many coaches get to do that. And in talking with her and watching her interact with the people on campus, it was apparent that this was a place that she really wanted to be and was excited about the opportunity. And certainly her playing experience, her coaching experience that she's had certainly helped in that process, but I was really impressed with how enthusiastic she was to be able to return back to Norwich and to continue with the success that we have with the program. And certainly having Molly with us as well, I think it made it special because of their friendship and their relationship, and I think they'll be a dynamic duo here at Norwich for years to come moving forward. So I was really excited about it. I was glad that she was interested in the position, and I think you know, the decision to have her here was one that we all think is special.
George.
Sophie, George Como from NSN and WD, good to see you, welcome home. The question I have is, you've been away for 4 years in a growing, developing Division I program at Colgate. Talk about how you think you have changed as a coach over the course of those 4 years and how that may help you here.
Yeah, totally. First of all, hi, George. Good to see you again. Yeah, it's been, I could spend so long answering that question. I won't, I promise. It's just been absolutely incredible to work. I would say my biggest takeaway is getting to learn from Greg Fargo. Having somebody there with, you know, that vision and passion to turn this program around. I had sort of the opportunity to do it here as a player, a little bit different being a first-time program, but then, all right, as a coach, wow, okay, we have to do this thing. Like, here's how it feels like as a coach, and it's really different. And for him and what he's taught me is, it really, truly is all about those connections, those relationships that you build with the people that you surround yourself with in the program. The staff, the players, you know, everybody who supports the program is part of it and a big piece of it. And maintaining and building those connections is everything. It's kind of, it's what's definitely I live my day-to-day by, and it helps, you know, get groups through adversities and that are, you know, it's a long season. So I'm really, really, really thankful that I had the opportunity to learn from him, and just think that being able to take that connection element and bring it here is just is going to be really exciting.
Ken.
Sophie Leclerc, WPPC. I know, you know, the timing of you coming here and the semester ending, you know, I don't know, you know, some of the players are here, but we got a chance to talk with some of
Yeah, I have for sure have a chance to connect with some of them and get to know them. And for me, it's an ongoing process. I just so excited to have these three here, and honestly cannot wait to get to know each and every one of them. And it's not, it's not a phone call. It's each and every day and getting to know them. What curves they use, what their favorite, I don't know, you name it, colors are, like everything. It's I just can't wait to get to know them all, and it's kind of what makes this exciting. Every team is so different, and it's kind of like creating a new puzzle. Like I have the box in front of me, and I like kind of picked it out of the store. Well, actually, Tony let me pick it out of the store, but now that it's here, it's like, holy cow! All right, like let's see what all these pieces are, and try, at the end in March, put it all together.
Sophie, Bill Droney, Northfield.
Hi, Bill.
What do you feel is the difference between Division I women's hockey and Division II women's hockey, or Division III?
What's the biggest difference? It's a great question. I'll be honest with you, and because to me it's all about the people, there isn't that big a difference. Having left a top 10 Division I program and getting the chance to work with a top 10 Division III, you can see it. Only having met some of these players for a few minutes and getting a chance to see what makes them tick, it truly is all the same. It's the reason why they're so successful and the reason why we had great success at Colgate. It's players who want to be the best they can be every day. So maybe I've been really fortunate to surround myself with that type of mentality, but to me, in that regard, there isn't that big a difference.
Frank?
So, Frank, look up, 22 and 44.
Hi, Frank.
In the early stages, what are some things you value as a head coach and sort of points of emphasis you want to drive home as soon as you can?
Sure. I value the love of the game. There's a lot of pressures that come with, playing for top programs. So to me, it's creating an environment where that love is for this game is there all the time. And whatever I can do to create that environment where people and players love coming to the rink every day, I will do anything I can to attain that. I just think that's why we're here. It's why I'm here. That's why everybody's here. It's for the love of the game, and sometimes you lose sight of that. So I think whatever I can do to create an environment where mistakes are okay, and we're here to grow and have fun, trying to do what we set out to do together.
Anybody else? All right, that concludes the press conference. Thank everybody for coming, and we can have the TV stations or anybody else who wants to talk to anybody to talk to Sophie or Tony or any of the players after the fact. So thank you very much for coming.